Great. So, who can remind me where last we left?
Last thing I remember is I took off the ring when I found out I was scrying. And I believe Dane had it and was examining it. That's about the last I think I remember.
Then it got thrown away.
Yes, I distinctly remember Ishtar huffing it.
Yeah, when I found out it was like, well, I guess he just thought it was more like a curse thing. I just took it off and threw it, and I believe Dane caught it. I think he figured out what it was. After that, I think that's where we ended.
Yeah. Now, we did, so we were talking about what the gnolls also had. Each of them had a sword.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
So we had
the looting.
The 7 swords. But then I have a pouch and it says GC, but I don't recall how much was in the pouch.
You hadn't taken the time to really open it up and look at that particular point because the focus was more on
the ring
and the note that was found.
Oh, that's right. Which was...
It had your name written, and then underneath that it said, find. And then it was signed with a single letter, L.
And I do not recall anyone that has a name that starts with L.
You do not. So. Ishtar, you can make a logic...
knowledge local.
Yeah, it would be local knowledge or history.
You have local knowledge.
You have local knowledge?
Yep.
Okay, yep, that'll work.
8.
No, you're unable to think of whose name could start with an L.
Yeah, logic's not my best.
Okay.
Yes, and so you are all there. It is about late afternoon, early evening. Sun hasn't quite started to set yet, but you know it's about to. And you are there with your cart, which is virtually unscathed, the 2 horses that are with it, and then you have this jail cart that has essentially had the reins disconnected in order to allow the wolves to go after you guys. And so this jail cart is just kind of chilling there.
Now, was it like solid on 3 sides and then like the one side was like portcullis bars?
No, it was solid on all 4 sides with a chain locked door on the outside.
Okay.
Or on one side.
Right,
and
so
you were able to reach your hands through the bars and pick the padlock and get those chains off and kick the door open. Go ahead.
So what weapon did the leader have? Because there were 8 gnolls, correct? Total?
Yes, there were. Okay. Yep. And he had a similar sword to the rest of them. He was just himself a much larger, more hulking figure.
Right. Okay. Well, let's look in this pouch and see how many gold coins are in there.
Who's got it? Who's opening it up?
Correct. Well,
I am maintaining my bow.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
I want. Let's see.
After the ring, Ishtar probably wouldn't touch it.
I want each one of you to roll, and that would be Russell too. I want each one of you to roll just 1d6 and multiply the result by 10.
Okay.
Okay.
I rolled a 1.
30.
Okay.
30.
30, 60, 70. And then Russell, just roll a 1d6 and multiply it by 10.
50.
Okay, so that was 30, 30, 10, which was 70 plus 50 is 120 gold pieces.
Okay.
in the pouch.
Okay.
Very nice.
That's 30 apiece.
Yes. As you are kind of chink, 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 you're probably holding your side. You've been severely battered. In fact, you're barely maintaining consciousness at this point, but you're like, gold. I want to shoot over to Tarask, and I want to see what he's up to in this moment. What's going on with him?
He's high, definitely spending his time maintaining his bow. He's able to keep it at a perfect tension. He just gets awesome shots with. And he hears the clinking of coins falling out of a pouch, and his elf ears kind of prick up a little bit as he realizes that, he is out here without a clan, and these other two-legged creatures seem to spend a lot of time worrying over these gold coins here. So he might want to see exactly what's going on. So I think he would then kind of just slide his bow over there and just kind of come up behind the orc and see what's happening.
What you got there?
What do we get?
And then I want to shift over to Dane and see what he's up to in this moment. If he can hear me.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm dealing with. I'm coming a little bit. This point, or in the game of 30 gold, and we've already examined all the other bodies. Not much else I have to do at this point.
Okay, and then
Get rid of that ring. The only thing I can think of is does my sense magic? Do I sense any magical still in the area that I can not picking up on previously?
you sense nothing in the area.
Okay.
And then we'll shift over to Ishtar, and what's he up to?
Ishtar would take probably the 30, whatever his cut of the money, put it in his own pouch, and start kind of jangling his pouch.
Okay, yes, evening presses on, and you are left with a decision to make. Where to go, how to get there. You have one companion who is severely wounded, and you guys are in the middle of nowhere at the moment.
And Tarask is actually at half health himself, so he's not exactly in pristine condition either.
Right now, correct. I think we should find a camp or a suitable place to camp, preferably away from these bodies. Light a fire and rest.
Maybe we should light a fire and put them in it.
That might smell bad.
I feel like might attract animals out here.
Might scare them off. There are dire wolves there.
Sure, take our chances. And so I guess we have like these two carts. So I think Tarask would kind of be like, do you guys want to let's kind of put these up next to each other, kind of get a windbreak going on. If I recall, we're on a grassy area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, and now that you mention it, I will roll for weather to see.
Nice tropical weather.
It's 85.
Yeah. There it is. 10. There is some wind that picks up. And it is quite quite windy, and so you have a little bit of difficulty getting a fire lit, but you manage to do it. The windbreak definitely serves its purpose in getting the wind from blowing out your fire, and Tarask is able to, Ishtar, you notice, he has this keen knack for finding food out in nature. He just seems to be able to do that. Tarask, roll, let's see, 2d6 for me.
8, and got 1 6.
Okay, you have enough rations from your find of food to feed everybody for 2 days. You were able to find a deer or something of the like that was able to provide you with a good source of food for tonight and the following day.
Yes, I think I would bring the deer back, but I would look over to Korak and be like, now I forget. I know you like to eat, but do you like to cook?
Yes. It's one of my favorite things to do, besides eating what I cook. So.
And he just says, excellent. And he just like smacks the side of the carcass and says, well, have at.
Okay.
What kind of
like hands up like I've never gotten food like this before, so have at it. Ishtar has mainly been a city dweller and a scrounger when he's on the road.
And that becomes very apparent when, like, you start ripping into the deer and, like, you got guts flying and you're cleaning it and everything. How would Ishtar be reacting to that?
Seeing that probably wouldn't freak him out, but he'd probably be looking, like, the first piece he gets, be looking at it, be like, oh, where the hell do I bite into this? What am I supposed to eat on this?
Don't worry. I'll take care of the preparations.
Speaking of, what kind of skills do you have for cooking?
I mean, really the only thing I have is survival, but I mean, I have my hook. Just trying new foods, so I figured I've tried enough, maybe I can do that.
Do you know if with the new rules, if it's still mutually exclusive, like you can either use your hook or a skill? Because I would think you could now use a hook and a skill.
You can use hook and a skill.
Perfect. So why don't you, I know your logic isn't all that great.
Right.
What's your intuition like?
My intuition is 9, so it's 3d6.
Okay. So for this, you're relying a little bit more maybe on your instincts. You just have such a passion for food. So make an intuition survival test with, and it'll explode for you.
Okay. And unfortunately, none of them explode, but that is a 14.
Fantastic. Because of the way you prepare it, you're able to do it in such a way that you actually provide the group another 2 rations. So there's a total of 10 there. So
Okay.
you would be able to feed another 2 of you for a whole nother day.
And Tarask would get up while Korak is cooking, and he would take this little like a traveling cup that he has, like, carved out of wood. And he would kind of show Ishtar and Dane. He would be like, check this out. So he would like kind of take the cup and he would wedge it in the ground, like 6 feet from where they're all sitting in a row. And he'd start digging around on the ground, finding pebbles. And he'd kind of grab like 10 of them or so, and he'd have them in his hand. And he starts taking them and he's trying to throw them and get them in the cup. And he goes, first one to get 3 in wins. And he just starts going like 1 right at a time, like trying to start throwing them right away. And yeah, he's just trying to basically hang out.
So it's a game to get 3. We're throwing 3, trying to get pebbles in a cup.
Basically, he calls it rock cup.
Very inventive.
So Ishtar will take a bite out of his current food and kind of feel his hands and gets up and be like, all right, I'll play.
Okay. Those would be agility, just straight agility tests. Or intuition, one or the other. You can choose whichever's highest.
They roll the same for him, so triple one.
That's pretty bad.
Wow. Epic fail.
Yeah.
You're just like, and it just like flies into the fire.
Boy.
Roll, I got 11, 13, 14 with 1 6.
Okay, you're looking for a 10. So, clunk, you get one in there, Dane.
What am I rolling? I lost my audio for a minute there.
3d6. Or, I mean, not 3d6, sorry.
Okay.
Agility or intuition.
Agility or intuition? Okay. Intuition's a little bit better. Roll exactly a 10.
All right. So Dane and Tarask managed to get one in. Ishtar's just kind of like fumbling, throwing his rock. Have another round. Well, Korak is... Shing.
Let's not get 3 ones again.
I already rolled. I got a 16 again. I have 4 dice, so it's easy to beat a 10.
Yeah, 14 there.
There you go. Ishtar lands one in. Dane's lining up his shot. 15, and he lands it. Tarask and Dane, neck and neck. Let's see what happens next. Roll him again.
Ooh, bad roll, but I still got an 11.
Yeah, 6.
Oh, man. That's bad.
Oh, I'm rolling crap on these agilities.
13.
All right, Dane and Tarask, your rocks both fall in at the same time, and you look at each other, and you know that this next one is the tiebreaker. So it's basically sudden death for you two. And Ishtar, you've just resigned yourself to watching Korak cook.
Yeah, after that last one, I kind of just like go, whatever.
Rock Cup. Who can name the game Rock Cup?
And another.
Actually, the difficulty for this one, because now the stakes are higher, you guys are going to be backing up a little bit. So whatever you rolled, just re-roll it. And the new difficulty is going to be a 13, as you both take a few steps back.
Nice. So I'm glaring at him. I'm like, this is my game.
You're not even looking at the cup. You're just like,
I don't think I got it. No, I got 12. Oh, wait. Yep, I got 12.
I also got 12.
Oh, so we both missed.
Yep. Oh, the stakes, they're just getting higher and higher. This is nuts.
Okay, 17.
Same thing, 17.
Oh, man. Oh, the fire just seems to burn hotter.
Korak tossed a small bone from the carcass and hit a 17 as well. So
it actually tips the cup over, and Ishtar has to go over and pick it up.
No,
he's the only one who isn't doing anything.
Ishtar's now the unofficial referee.
Right. So now the new difficulty level is 15. As you both take a step back after landing one.
Ishtar starts playing a mellow song on the lute.
Got 20.
Ooh.
16.
Oh, man. All right. Another step back raises it to a, let's see, I said 13, 15, so a 17 is what
Now
you
I'm
need.
glaring.
Now I'm using the luck die.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I missed this one. I got a 9, 10, 12.
13, even with the luck die. I didn't roll a 6 on that.
Ultimate.
All right, roll them again. You're looking for, what'd I say, 17.
17.
17, exactly.
And what was that you said, Dane? You said you got the same thing?
Nope. D1.
Oh, all right. So, yes, that fateful rock drops into the cup, and it all seems to happen in slow motion. And Dane and Ishtar are defeated in Rock Cup.
And I think Taras gets like a little too excited about winning his own game. Like he's like, yes, yes.
Perfect. As the night dwells on, you can all, before sleeping, since you haven't rested today, if you need to, make your endurance dice pool checks and regain that many hit points. And for an awesome game of Rock Cup, it just lifted your spirits all that much more. Roll an extra 1d6 and gain that much more.
Does that include the cook?
Nice.
It does.
I can actually.
All right, once that's all sorted, you are all able to get a good night's rest, wake up the next morning, and set off in a direction, or not set off at all. What do you decide to do?
Okay. I am mostly healed. But I can probably, if we have a clear day of travel, I should be fine this evening once we stop to rest.
Funny you should mention that. I just rolled an 11 on the weather, which I have to check really quick, but I'm pretty sure it's going to cause you guys some problems. Yes, you have some strong winds that pick up. When you wake up in it seems as though a storm has rolled in, and the sky turns a little bit green. You know how sometimes when storms roll in, the sky has that greenish hue to it? That's what you see here, and this wind is really picking up.
And can you remind me, what do we have pulling our cart, the one that's ours? What's pulling that? 2 oxen?
2 horses.
2 horses, okay.
Okay.
So, how exactly is this causing us problems? Like, is it causing dust storms?
Presently, it's not causing you any problems. What it will do when you travel, though, is raise the difficulty of the terrain by 1 level.
Are we taking the jail cart?
I don't think we can. We don't.
We don't have anything to pull it, probably.
We don't have anything to pull it.
Right.
It'd be too much for the horses, my friend.
I'm not sure. Well, the cart is covered. Our cart is a covered cart. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, when you say covered, is it fabric or is it all wood? Like, is it a big?
It's fabric. And in fact, there's some rips and tears on it from the swamp, and the wind causes you a little bit more problem with it kind of starting to pull and tear in some of the spots. So,
but
Yeah.
I say we push on, but where do we want to go? I mean, I think I would like to go to Nala to find out who is looking for me.
So we're between like Nala and Gowie, right?
Gowick.
Gowick?
Yeah.
Gowick is more like a tribal type camp, right?
yeah, and that's really how Tarask would explain it to you, is that it's a camp. It's not a set. It is a small settlement, but it's
We call it the frontier.
yeah.
Reminds me of the Dalish elf camps from Dragon Age.
Okay, that's probably a good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yes. Yeah, in the woods with the werewolf, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of what it reminds me of.
Yep, I would see that. I mean, in my opinion, it's not my setting, though. That's how I
Oh
see it.
yeah, that's perfect.
So the city is probably a better bet for us.
Okay. I say we push on.
Agreed.
I mean,
Yeah.
healing. If we need healing, the camp can probably do it. The city's probably our best bet, probably, for uncovering more of the mystery.
Yes. Now, from where you guys are at, to get to the city, well, you would need to make probably logic survival checks to see if you could, figure out by matter of deduction maybe about how far you'd have to travel. before you make a decision on like where exactly to go or the way to get there.
Now, are we riding in the cart or?
Yeah,
all
basically
of
one
us
of
or
you
some
will
of
drive
us?
it, and
No.
there's room for 2 up front, and then there'd be enough room for 2 inside the cart.
I'd like to think Tarask would, as we start walking, first thing he would do is, I mean, knowing that these gnolls came from this direction, pulling a prison cart, which would leave pretty obvious tracks, I think he would just start looking immediately for their tracks and try to follow that at least, assuming it would take them roughly in the correct direction.
Yes, and in fact, when you look down, you do indeed see the tracks from the cart, and you're able to follow them. No problem. Is that what the direction you guys are going to go then? Is follow those cart tracks?
But just to be, I want to be sure, Ishtar came from Nala, right? So they kidnapped him from Nala.
Yeah, right outside Nala. Yeah. Well, actually, with this camp, would that have been where I actually got captured?
No, that didn't happen. That actually happened like
right outside Nala.
that.
Probably, right?
No, that's very fresh in your mind. That happened, if not yesterday, then the day before. I mean, not yesterday, because yesterday is when you met everybody. The day before that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so they were fairly close, but they were running low on supplies and everything.
That's when they had their last camp. So this will take basically one day's travel should take us to their camp.
Well, to wherever Ishtar is talking about.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Yeah. So I think Tarask would point that out right away and just be like, I think we should follow these if you're really interested in finding out who's looking for you. Whoever it was that you guys were talking about before is probably at the end of these tracks, or was.
I agree.
If anything else, we can find more supplies.
Okay. Let's go.
I
Dane?
have no objections.
Sally forth.
I have no objections.
Okay, so this day will go on, and you guys will begin traveling. So you'll have this day to roll your endurance dice pools again if you still need to do that. And then I'll need everybody to make their respective checks for traveling on this hex.
I'm full health. Yeah.
Me too, finally.
The logic is that.
Sorry, I missed that. I was rolling. What was the last
Tarask usually takes the hunting because that's an automatic success for him. And then you guys are going to be traveling for a while, so you'll need you have 4 other roles to fulfill. Well, the morale says in groups of 10 or more. So I guess we don't really need the morale. So there's got to be 3 other checks that happen. The guide, which is a logic test, the lookout, which is an intuition test, and the healer, which is a logic test. So Tarask has the hunter part. So you've got 1 success there.
I can do the intuition one. That's
The lookout.
lookout. Yeah. So
Okay, and you'll be looking for a 16 or higher thanks to this windy day.
Uh-oh. Can I add anything to it?
You can always add luck.
Oh, the door.
I'll add luck to it today.
Did that replenish?
What was that?
Like if you luck die the other day, did they replenish?
Yes. Yeah, you spend
Okay.
5 minutes once a day, and they replenish.
Okay.
Oh, that's how that works.
You said what?
You're looking for a 16.
So a 15 does not do it, huh?
Ooh,
Ooh.
no.
Damn.
So you're at an even 0 on your fortune at the moment.
Sorry, guys.
You've got food, but that wind is blowing stuff around, and it's severely inhibiting your ability to look out ahead and see anything. You got a lot of dirt blowing up in your eyes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and to be honest, even Tarask's hunting, I think he'd just come back with mostly plants. It's too hard to hunt when the wind's blowing your scent around like that.
So yeah, you guys are gnawing
what's
on
the
the
check-
leftover deer meat and some berries.
Do you check for the navigation?
The guide, that's a logic test. Well, actually, guide and healer. So, Ishtar, if you want to take healer,
I'll
then
try it, yeah.
Dane, you can take guide.
Okay. What's the target number?
16.
Okay, 16. All right. I recharged my
have to take
dice
one
with the
die.
sleep, so
Even trying to hit.
And things related to the task will help.
Healing, no.
So, any skills, yeah.
for navigation.
No, I got a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, closest thing I've got is dungeoneering. That's not going to do me any good for that. So, all right, using a luck die, that put me at 17 for my navigation check.
Oh, okay. Then you wind up striking out even. And you guys are able to travel this hex, no problem. You spend the next day traveling 30 miles, and you make it with some difficulty, but you do make it. And you make camp for the night, and things seem to happen without much, no wandering monsters and all of that. The next day you wake up, you begin traveling again. You still are able to follow the path that you've been following. The weather is a wonderful warm day, so your target numbers for your checks this day are only 13.
So that's better.
And this time, Tarask, with his automatic success, will come back with some nice looking gate. Well, Tarask, what do you think you would find?
Out here, there's like it's almost completely plains, right? Like there's no trees, nothing like that.
The corridor you're traveling by right now, you might be able to get away with splitting from the party a little bit, and you're kind of right along the forest line.
So then I think, probably mostly rabbits. Something like a rabbit or two.
Yeah.
All right, now if I can't, I can't even hit the number with the die I roll. So what does that just like an automatic failure?
Yeah.
How's your
Right.
intuition?
My intuition's pretty good.
Okay.
I only have 2d6 for my logic, so I can't even hit 13.
Let's use the luck die.
Oh yeah, I used that last time. I don't want to use up all my luck die on this.
Well, it would have
understand that.
replenished. Each day you'll get new luck dice, so you could spend them on these checks. The only risk that you run in doing that is if you do fail, you're out of luck dice or what have you, and then something happens because you're at negative fortune, where you got like a wandering monster or something like that, where you further have to use your luck dice. But other than that, using your luck dice for these checks is completely reasonable.
I didn't use the luck die, and I did roll a 13 on the navigation check.
All right. So you guys are at +2. We just need Korak and Ishtar.
Yeah, I did use a luck die and I rolled a 6. So, but I was
Wait.
on this. I rolled a 6 on the luck die.
Oh, okay.
And then I
okay.
had
Oh, okay.
I had 12 before that, so that's 18, 22.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought he was saying he rolled a 6 with.
that's what I
No.
thought.
I thought I rolled 3 ones and then rolled a 3 on his luck die.
So
11.
if anything
11,
approaches, I will be able to see.
All right, so you guys are at 2 fortune. You managed to make it through the next 30 miles actually quite nicely. The nice warm day helps a lot, raises your spirits. For the next little leg of the journey, we're going to have one more round of checks, and except this time, we're going to make this count for about 60 to 90 more miles. So about 3 more hexes. We're just going to speed up the journey a little bit. And the weather for these 3 days is...
Hurricane Harvey.
No, it is a windy day, but it doesn't affect the terrain at all. So you're still looking for 13s on your checks. And now, Tarask, you are hitting straight open plains.
I will use a luck die.
13 on the nose.
There you go. All right, so that's +1.
And I've been rolling the healing.
+2 from yeah. If you need any healing, then well, pretty much you guys have traveled long enough with that you can be at full.
I only got an 11. Sorry.
Okay, so
Even with the luck die,
2,
it doesn't help when you roll a
3.
1 on the luck die.
Korak brings you back down to 2. Ishtar, what'd you get?
I got a 13 exactly.
And Dane?
Use the luck die. I got a 14.
14. Okay, so you guys are at 4 fortune points. Your traveling is going swimmingly. No problems. So as this day nears an end, you begin to come up to and it's been kind of a windy, cloudy day this day, or this last leg. These past 3 days has been kind of windy and cloudy as you've gotten away from the swamp and closer to the coast, actually, because from your best guess, the tracks aren't going directly south. They're actually traveling slightly east as well. And as you make your way down through the plains following these tracks, you see up ahead of you what looks like a small settlement, except it seems like there is a storm hovering over top of it. And you can see some lightning crackling through the sky and what have you, and you can see kind of the way you can see a storm in the distance. If you're high enough altitude and you can see the lightning and the billows of rain and stuff like that, it's kind of like that. You can see that in the distance over top of what looks like a settlement a few miles down the way.
Tarask is a pretty nature-driven guy. Does this look normal to him?
This looks like a small settlement that you...
Oh, I meant the isolated storm. Like, does it look...
Oh. You can make a logic, and if you've got nature...
I do.
That will work.
Now, how many days?
So this is not a magically occurring. There's no chance it's a magically occurring storm.
So how many? Ishtar just asked how many days have we been traveling? It's been, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 days. Yep, you're getting about 30.
I think he's asking because.
Oh, there it is.
I think he's asking because the exploit the humans have for explorers.
Yes, and that will certainly apply.
Oh, wait.
So I got 6, 9. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. No, I'm lying. 2, 4, 13.
13. Yeah, Tarask, you look at this storm, and it has that greenish hue to it. And while that could be natural, something feels off about it. It feels a little too warm. It feels a little too out of place to you to be fully natural. You're not 100% sure about it, but your feeling about it is off, for sure.
Okay, and how far are we from the settlement?
Maybe about 2 miles.
Okay. So yeah, I think he would look back and he would tell him, he'd be like, I don't know, something about that doesn't look right. What about the rest of you? Does that look normal to you?
I doubt Ishtar's ever seen something like this, so
Yeah.
Ishtar kind of stares up and says, "No, something's not right here."
Looks fine to me.
About how far is this from us? Just out of curiosity.
2 miles.
Yeah, I can't. I wouldn't even be able to tell if this is magical or not yet.
So I'm reminded of that. So he would look to Dane and be like, how close do you got to be to get the tinglies?
A lot closer than this. Like, almost on top of it.
All right. Well, I suggest we stay on our toes. Keep your God senses open.
Keep your wits about you.
Whatever it is you do, Dane.
Korik will dismount from wherever he was on that and like unlimber one of his throwing spears and get ready.
Ishtar gets his bow out.
And I don't know. He has a movement of 10 while on outside of urban environments. So I don't know if he can keep up. Well, he should be able to keep up with a horse pulling a cart. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. The horses pulling the carts move at about a speed of 4.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think Teresk would already be off the cart on foot. I mean, he has a movement of 8. So I think he would just be right beside Korak.
Yeah, so you guys are dismounting, and I'm assuming getting ready to make your way into this settlement to see if there's maybe some shelter, get some better rest, some accommodations, maybe get some clues about what's going on.
Dane, are you driving the vehicle?
Yeah, works for me for 2 benefits. One, I'm driving it, but 2, it puts me at that little higher point, so it gives me a little bit of a strategic advantage if we happen to go into combat.
Okay.
Okay, as you draw closer, Ishtar, I want you to make a perception test for me.
$14.
Okay, you aren't 100%, but you're pretty certain that this is the same village that was raided in the middle of a night.
Coastal village.
Yes.
So
and
this is the one I might not have seen, like, I more heard than anything, but I probably saw flashes of this happening. Okay.
Yeah, and you recognize some landmarks, and you see the remains of a building that, when you saw it last, was in the middle of burning, and now that you see it, it's smoldering still just a little bit, not much because it's been some days, but you know how things like that can be. They smolder for days sometimes, and indeed, this, as you guys make your way towards and into this village, you begin to see that there's no rain falling or anything, but this storm that is above you has this light kind of pukish green tinge to it, and lightning flashing all throughout the insides of this storm. And then I want everybody to make perception tests as you make your way in. Dane, I'm going to assume that you probably have parked the caravan or the van somewhere outside and are now on foot with everybody else.
Once we get into town, or get to a place where I can park things, that's probably what I would do.
Yeah.
I only got a 9 on that next perception check.
I always forget on perception. It's intuition.
Yep.
Okay.
Got an 11 here.
Also an 11.
7. Whew. I see nothing.
Hope the test was a 13.
Wait, Dane, you said you got a 13?
Oh, it was an 11. I just said I hope the test is a 13 because we've all failed.
Yes.
At that point.
Yes, you all failed. So you are all equally unable to discern exactly what it is you hear. However, you do all hear something. It's higher pitched in tonality, and it seems to be a voice. But what it's saying and where exactly it's coming from is anyone's guess. And you guys are slowly making your way into this town, and it very quickly becomes apparent that this town has been ravaged. It's been absolutely decimated, and it's very clear to you within the span of a couple of minutes that when those gnolls made their way through here, they destroyed it. They came through, they raided this town, and they leveled it. Now, there are still some houses standing, and it does look like there has been some repair work done on some places. So clearly there were some survivors. It's when you make your way to one of these buildings that is, even capable of being inhabited, that you begin to hear this voice. And then from a window atop one of these buildings, you see you hear something and you hear freeze. And when you look up, you see a man silhouetted in the darkness of a room holding a double-barreled shotgun pointing down at you guys out of a window. He says, "What are y'all doing outside?"
Well, Ishtar, as soon as I heard freeze, Ishtar would have probably stopped.
It's not even cold.
I really want him to say, "No shit, Sherlock," but that completely doesn't work.
No, but Tarask, I think, leans over and goes, "No, I think he's threatening you. Humans never say what they mean."
I think I get it.
Where is the window to us? Like, is it straight ahead, kind of above us and to the side, like up there?
Yeah, I imagined it above you and kind of to your left as you're walking through this ruined town, and you come up and you see, and all of a sudden there's a guy in the window holding a, it's not like a modern day double barrel shotgun. You're talking.
No, it's just if it's to the side, then after kind of saying this to Tarask, after saying this to Korak, I think Tarask would try to like how if you get too close to something, they can't shoot you anymore. Like I try to put myself up against it so he can't just shoot me.
Yeah, he says.
What did he say after freeze? What did he say? He asked us why we were here.
He said, "What are y'all doing outside?"
Okay. Should I use my charm? No, I'll try the old.
Same thing everybody else does outside.
Try to take over the world.
Does Dane actually say that?
I was actually probably would say is we just arrived here.
And when you say that, he'll motion with his gun and say, "You got to get out of there. Get inside, quick." And the gun will disappear from the window, and you'll hear footsteps going down steps, and the door to the building. And then you'll hear a voice from the inside say, "It's open."
This was the building that he was in before, the one he was up above him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is he pointing a gun at us?
He's on the other side of the door that he just unlocked for you. Yes.
Korak will go in.
Ishtar go over, yeah.
Korak opens up the door, and when he does, how tall is Korak again?
He's around 7 foot tall.
Yeah, so you kind of have to duck in a little bit as you open up the door, and as you do, you kind of see this a really hillbilly looking guy kind of look up at you like, "What the hell?" Then he points his gun at you, and he says, "Don't move another muscle. Stop."
You just invited me in.
Yeah, Ishtar would have been right behind Korak.
And you would have bumped right in behind him if Korak stops with a gun pointed to his head.
Well, yeah, I'm sort of going to stop.
Yeah, and he says, "I ain't ever seen an orc before. I've heard of you. That's a bad omen. Are you with the lady?"
I kind of move out from behind Korak.
I'm not with any ladies.
As he says that, Ishtar pops out from behind with his hands up.
He kind of gives you a sideways glance, and he's like, "How can I be sure?"
Well, he's a human male. He's a human, he's a human male, and then the other one is an elven male. No ladies.
As you're talking, he's half listening, everything, and then he's kind of like looking back behind you and everything, and then he kind of looks at you again, but then his ears perk up all of a sudden, and I want everybody to make perception tests again.
Damn it.
15.
Ooh, nice. 17.
Okay, as you are all
9.
and Dane.
13.
Okay, as you see him looking over you, and then you see him kind of perk up, everything. You all hear the same thing, and it's thunder, but it rumbles. Kind of from beneath you. You know how normally when you hear thunder, it kind of comes from around you, and it kind of sounds sometimes like it's coming from everywhere all at once. This is more like a you hear the thunder of lightning, but then the ground kind of vibrates a little bit, and then he kind of looks back and forth, and he looks back at Korak, and he says, "How is it you were outside, but you weren't getting attacked? How are you still alive?"
We just got here.
And at the same, Ishtar says,
Which is what I just told you a moment ago.
"What are you laughing at, boy?" And then he looks at Tarask.
And Tarask would be kind of like, he'd be looking off in another way. He'd chuckle, but then when he realizes he's talking to him, he goes, "Boy. Boy." And he'd be really confused. He'd be like, I'm a lot older than you.
As you're talking, he grabs the side of Korak, and he just starts shuffling you guys in. He says, "Get inside. Get inside. I don't want my door open any longer than it has to be." And he shuts it and locks it all up.
And Tarask would say, "Did you say you're..." Oh, I'm sorry, Caleb.
Yeah, Ishtar would be like, what were you attacked by that you're so scared of?
He walks over. He's got his gun, and he sets it up against the wall, and he's walking over, and he's picks up a pipe off of the table and a match. He strikes the match, and he starts puffing the pipe, and he looks over at you guys. He takes his hat off, and he sets it down, and he says, "So y'all are new here, huh? Well, about 8-9 days ago, can't remember exactly how long, some terrible creatures rolled through here and about destroyed our whole town. And ever since then, things ain't been right." And you all hear the pitter-patter of feet up above you. And he looks up, and then he looks down at Korak, and he says, "You don't eat kids, do you?"
Depends on how they're spiced.
And they can't help but stifle laughter at that point.
He'll look at you really intense. And
Goat
he'll just start
goat
laughing.
is very good.
He'll just start laughing, and he's like, "You know I'd blow your head off, right?"
Right.
Great.
Well,
And played Drax today.
Ishtar
Yeah.
pops in and says, "Well, those creatures that initially attacked you, if it makes you feel any better, they are now deceased."
He says, "Well, that is good to hear, but at the
Remember
moment..."
the jail cart they were towing? I was in that thing.
"How did you even survive?"
I kind of point to my fellow party members. They attacked the Knoll.
I probably froze for a second there.
Ishtar like points to his 3 party members and says, "They attacked the Knolls while I was in there. I got out and we fought off the Knolls, and I've been traveling with them."
He kind of scruffs his beard a little bit, takes another drag of his pipe. He doesn't have much of a beard. It's kind of
So
stubble.
the creatures that did this are deceased. That is a fact.
He says, "Well, that ain't the biggest problem we got anymore. Ever since they came through here and they They destroyed this town. Something ain't been right. Things have been off. This storm has moved in not just 2-3 days ago, and it hasn't left since. There's been something going around. I can't explain it. I think I've seen it a couple of times. His voice trails off a little bit. It's like, but I don't know what it is or where it came from.
Ishtar points to the door and says, did it start when this greenish haze in the sky started?
Yeah. It... As soon as those creatures left, it seemed just a couple days this storm rolled in, and we were burying our dead, and this storm rolled in, and just this feeling came over all of us as we were burying our loved ones that something just ain't right. And then before we knew it, people just started disappearing. And I swear I've seen some kind of creature coming in and out of the village and just eating people. Just eating them.
What have you found remains?
There ain't no remains when that guy is done with them.
How many of you are left?
He says he thinks about it for a second, and he sits down and puts his hand through his hair. It's like, I don't know, can't be any more than 15 or 20 of us.
And every night you're getting attacked by whatever this creature is?
He's got his pipe in his hand and he's trying to refill it. He's like, yeah, I don't know. I gotta check on my kids. And he'll set his pipe down and he'll stand up and he almost walks by his gun, and then he stops for a second and he grabs it and he checks it really quick, and then he walks up the stairs to go check on what you would assume to be his children up there. And as you are all left in the bottom of this house, it's a small house. There's been some repairs done here and there. There's a nice little fireplace going, and it's nice and warm and cozy there. As you are all there standing about, what's the conversation like?
What time of day is it?
It is approaching night, and so the sun is setting, and yes, this storm hangs over top of the town, and so it makes it darker than it really should be.
So I turn to the party. I says, well, what do you think, guys? This doesn't sound too good.
No, it definitely doesn't. And of course, we walked right into it. So,
considering whatever this is way up in the air, there's no way I'm going to be able to tell that's magic. But I don't think I need that. I don't need to sense magic to have a pretty feeling that up there, and point up towards the sky, is magical.
Taras would kind of be like mulling everything around. He'd just kind of be like, forgive me, is it a human custom to, and I don't mean to be rude, but is it normal to worry about other people's problems so much?
Right after you say that, a gunshot goes off upstairs.
And Taras says, never mind.
okay, I'm heading upstairs.
Taras is as well.
Everybody make a perception
I'm about to say,
checks.
God damn it.
You said perception?
I gotta quit saying that.
16.
6.
Perception's intuition.
14.
13.
Ishtar?
16.
16. Yeah, you three. Korak, you don't hear it, but Tarask, Dane, and Ishtar, you all hear what sounds like the shrill scream of a woman coming from outside of the house. At very soon after that gunshot upstairs goes off. It's like maybe Korak was closest to the stairs there, and when the gunshot went off, it buffered his hearing too much to hear any screaming outside, but you three are able to hear it indeed.
So the gunshot was upstairs,
Okay.
the scream was outside.
That's right.
Okay.
How many locks are engaged on this door?
6.
Wow. Okay.
Any windows?
And
or
what is the composition of the door?
The door itself is a wooden door. However, the locks that are on it are all composed of metal. And from the inside, they're obviously manageable. There's no keys you need. There's no anything like that. They're all slide locks or chain locks of various types and what have you. So they can all be unlocked from the inside without any hassle.
Okay.
Are there any like windows?
I'm
or
going to start-
viewports to the outside, or
They
Okay,
are
yeah,
all boarded up.
okay.
Yep.
Are they boarded up in the sense that they are like nailed? It's like a board nailed over it.
Boarded up in the sense that there's like you can't see out them because there's like 2 layers of boards nailed over top of them.
Well, boards were made to be broken. So I'm going to search. I'm going to find that weak point where that opening was, punch through that, and get us an opening where we can look out.
Tarask is going to continue upstairs.
Yeah, Korak as well.
Ishtar will stay at the bottom of the stairs, kind of, so I can like looking both ways. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of staying like stationary, but like looking both ways.
Yeah,
With his guys go out.
as Korak and Tarask, you make your way upstairs, you immediately begin to hear. So, Korak, what you hear instead of the woman screaming outside is instead you hear the children begin crying. You hear the sounds of children crying, and then Tarask, you can hear the scream coming from outside and the muffled sound of children crying as you make your way up the stairs. And when you do, sure enough, you see the old man holding his gun out of the same window that he was pointing to you at, and you see 2 children huddled over in a corner with a blanket over top of them, and you see a small teddy bear in the middle of the floor, and as soon as you get to the top of the stairs, he pulls the trigger again, and another loud gunshot goes off. And as soon as he does that, he breaks open the barrel and 2 shells. Well, actually, they would be... Now, old school double barrel shotguns, they didn't have that, did they?
No, they would. You'd have to actually use the ramrod and all that.
Yeah, so he starts doing all of that sort of thing. He's got a table next to him with all of those supplies ready to go. The ball, the wad, the powder, all of it is right there ready to go. A little priming canister for him, and he just starts to go to town like he's done this a million times.
Okay, so this isn't as much a double-barreled shotgun as it is a double-barreled black powder musket,
Yeah.
or a double-barreled black powder long rifle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's musket tech in shotgun form.
Yeah.
Like a spray box or a pepper box or something like that. Tarask is coming. He's come up the stairs. He's gone into that room. He said, "Here's that shot go off." Korak is either like right next to him, right in front of him, right behind him, something like that. And when we reach the top of the stairs, I'd be going towards that sound, and I would call out to him. I'd say, "Human close to death, old person, listen. How can I get upstairs?" He doesn't know how to address him because he's old, like he's going to die soon, but he didn't like the boy comment, so he wants to make clear that he's not older than him. So
When you ask how do you go upstairs, what do you mean? Because you guys have already made your way upstairs.
Yeah, no. What Tarask is basically trying to say, he said it wrong, but what he meant to say is, how can I get on top?
To the roof.
Yeah, can I get to the roof?
He's really focused on this rifle, and your attempts to get his attention to ask him that, it takes him a second to realize somebody's talking to him, and then when he does, he says, he's like, why would you want to get on the roof?
I'm a pretty good shot.
He sees your bow on your side, and he says, as he's grabbing more powder and putting it in the other barrel, he says, over there's a hatch on the roof that I boarded up, but I'm going to reboard it once you go up there.
Tarask is like, it's unpleasant.
Correct's going to the window.
I'll let him see what's out the window. I think Tarask will hesitate.
Okay, you don't need a perception check to see. There is what would appear to be off in the distance, not very close. This guy was, to your best guess, he must have been a pretty good shot, because what you see is the body of a person laying down the ways a little bit in the middle of the street next to a house. What would appear to be a house that is not destroyed. One that looks quite similar to his. And you see the corpse of what it is. It looks like a humanoid figure to you from there.
Why did you shoot her? Can I tell if it's a her or?
It is indeed a woman, and you can tell that because you can see that she's wearing a very, a woman's pilgrim's dress, basically. And he says, "What do you mean shoot her? You don't call monsters like that him or her. It's
a woman in a dress."
He's like, "No, it's not. Look." And then he looks out the window and he sees the woman laying there on the ground. And then he drops his shotgun and he's just takes a step back and he stumbles down and he sits down on the ground. He's just like, "I swear I saw it. I swear I did. I know I saw it. I know I did."
Okay. Two things from my perspective. One, do I successfully essentially get myself a view hole through that door, punching it out?
Well, let's see. The wood, as I
and then if
just
so,
recently
what do I see?
Looked up, has a health of 10 and a soak of 5. So make your first attack against the wood. Don't roll an attack roll, just roll your damage.
Okay. My damage has gone up since I add a point to my martial arts, so it's a +3. $22 points of damage.
Yes, you burst that window wide open, like it was just there. It was put there just for you to punch it, and it just explodes open, and you're able to look out. And indeed, you look down the way and you see a woman lying on the ground.
Okay, so I saw her after she got hit.
Yes, well, yes, you didn't see her get hit by anything. By the time you get through the window, what you see is a woman lying there on the ground.
Okay. And was that the one that screamed?
You're not sure.
Okay. But what I'm asking is, do I see another woman? I heard a woman scream. Mm-hmm. And am I seeing that one body, or am I seeing more than one? Am I seeing a body plus other individuals?
You're seeing just a body.
Assuming that my assumption would be that scream I heard was from that person before she fell over dead. Okay. I'm going to keep a lookout here, and I'm going to actually unlock all but I'm going to figure out which lock is going to be the easiest one to undo So essentially, if I need to, I can unlock that lock and burst through this door if I need to charge out there to attack something. But I'll unlock all the other locks but that one.
Okay, as the old man is up there, kind of like, he looks like he's just broken. Like his mind is just gone. You hear the locks downstairs begin to be, you hear a whole bunch of all that going on.
Tarask, check the children.
Yeah, actually, Taras was just about to turn around and say, "Little humans, what have you seen?"
Do you pull the blanket up off them?
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're covering. I want to... actually, I don't think he'd care. Yeah, he'd pull the blanket.
Give him the teddy bear.
Oh, so Korak would be saying that, and he'd be like, "Oh, I don't see how that'll help, but okay." And he grabs the bear, and he kind of lifts the sheet up. He goes, "Here's a bear. What have you seen?"
Yes, when you lift it up, it is indeed just two little human children. You hand them their teddy bear, and one of them grabs it, and they're very quiet, and you hear one voice say, "Thank you."
Yes, you're welcome.
They cover themselves back up with the blanket.
So he kind of like, I think he like taps on her head, like, and does she lift the blanket again?
Yes, you do. She does. You see the face of a dirty little girl. She can't be any older than 5. And then beside her, you see the face of a much younger boy who couldn't be any older than 3. And she says, "What do you want, mister?"
I just want to know, what exactly have you seen here?
Now, I'm kind of imagining this as you're kind of bent down to like squatted down a little bit to their level and everything. And she kind of looks at you and she reaches out and she grabs your ear. She pulls it down and then she lets it go to watch it fling back up. She's like, "You're funny looking."
Yes, I am an elf. You have now seen an elf. But what else have you seen?
Daddy says he sees lots of things.
But have you seen them? And is he always shooting out that window?
Sometimes, I guess.
He kind of looks back at Korak and says, "Yeah, I think he's like, she hasn't necessarily seen anything, but she's a child."
When you turn around and say that, you feel a little hand on your other ear.
Little wet willy.
And he's gonna flinch and just be like,
"Congratulations, you have become their new plaything."
Okay. Is the body of the woman like showing any type of movement at all, or can I tell from this distance?
It doesn't appear to be moving whatsoever.
Okay.
No convulsions, no nothing.
Okay. Tarask, I think I need to go check on this person. Can you keep an eye on him and keep an eye on anything that might attack me?
Yes, I'll make sure he doesn't shoot any more people.
Okay. Now, how does jump work?
You can basically jump a distance according to your jump stat, and then anything beyond that requires a check.
Okay. So, I mean, I have a 22 feet, but that's horizontal, and a 7-foot vertical. So I know we're above 7 feet above the ground.
Yeah,
But-
you're about 20 feet
20 feet.
up off the ground. That sounds about
About-
right?
Nah, just one story up,
Mm-hmm.
probably 10 to 12.
Okay.
So.
So we'll call it 12.
How do you figure jump?
Jump is your horizontal jump is your agility stat, not dice pool, but the stat doubled. And then your vertical jump is your strength stat straight. But it can't be higher than your horizontal.
Yeah, it's weird. My jump says 18 feet and 5 feet, but I don't think that 18 feet is right.
That would
Is your
be
agility 9? Or
No, my agility is 10.
so it's 20. You probably went up when you went to 6.
Oh, that's right. That's what it is. Okay, so it's 20 and 10. Okay.
You have 10 strength?
Oh, no strength. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Okay, so basically if I jump down, I need to make a roll.
Yes, I would say that it's going to be a base. Since I don't know it off the top of my head, I'm just going to say it's a base of 10 plus the difference of your jump value that you have. So you've got 7 feet covered. So we'll do 10 plus. We'll call it 4.
It'd
So-
be 15.
Yeah, it'd be 15, but that seems a little harsh. We'll give it a 14.
Okay, and so I'm going to step back from the window, run, and jump through it. Can I use my running as a... No, I have acrobatics. Sorry.
Yes, you can use
Oh.
acrobatics. That'll help for sure.
Okay. So I'll be doing a max die pool here. So I'll be back. Okay. So that's 22, 26, 27.
Yeah, you land like a cat.
Okay. And then I go up to the body.
Yeah, it's a little bit ways down the road, maybe 150 feet down the road, and you make your way down. As you do, and you get up closer to the woman, make a perception test.
That is 13.
You get the sense that you are not alone, and as you look down at the woman, you see no wounds whatsoever.
Okay.
Ishtar, you're still located down on the first floor, correct?
Actually, yeah, I haven't said what I've done since. My initial thing was I heard the shotgun and then the scream, and I was waiting to see what happened. When I saw Dane bash the window out and the second shotgun off, I would have gone right by Dane by that open window.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I've been the whole time. So Ishtar, I wouldn't be aware of what happened upstairs, but if I saw Korak get down, I
I say we were seeing Korak.
Yeah, we'd probably see Korak jump. And when he landed, I would probably turn to Dane and be like, "We should get that door open in case."
I come running
And
back.
I look at, yeah, and I say, here's what I'm going to step out. I'm going to cover him. So I unlock the last lock, open the door, and look at you, say, lock this lock, and I'll bang on the door if we need let back in.
So as soon as you open the door, standing just before you, about 6.5 feet tall, is this creature whose mouth goes from its jawbones all the way down to the center of its chest, and it has.
I didn't see us through the window.
No, it has about
So this is
8.
right as the door opened, it was there.
It was there.
Oh, gee, okay.
And there's these 8 large tentacles that are just kind of ethereally floating in front of you, and it has these dark red devilish looking eyes, and I'll share a quick picture of it
Okay.
standing
The next thing I ask
right
is,
there in front of you.
Jeez.
Okay. I have my staff with me. At any point, does my staff glow?
Not right now. Nope.
So it's not glow. It's not glowing now. Even
No.
this is not a spirit creature. Okay.
I don't know if that's a good thing to know. Because that is terrifying. I'd kind of rather it be a spirit and not be real.
You and me both.
Yes, and so you open the door. That thing is standing right there in front of you. And Korak, you look up and you see that. You see that thing standing there in front of the door. Ishtar, you see it right there. Tarask, you don't. You're upstairs. So you don't see anything yet. And then Dane, as quickly as it was there, it's gone. Like you blink,
Wow.
and it's gone. And indeed, you see this. It almost looks like it explodes, and it's into a mist, and then you see it reform right behind Korak as he's looking at the door. It reappears right behind Korak with its tentacles up about it and getting ready to come around Korak.
Korak is looking at us.
For that brief split second, he was looking at. He's like, "Huh, there's no wounds on this," and then he saw the figure standing there. He sees it explode, and then it appears behind him.
I charge out the door and say, Korak! Korak behind you, and start beelining it towards that direction.
And then at this point, Tarask, you see this thing assimilate right behind Korak.
Yeah, I feel like I was kind of like walking towards the old man I hear from downstairs. Dane call out to Korak, and I kind of scoot to the window and look out. I suddenly see this thing.
Yep.
And I'm just going to go like, "Oh, Cernos' horns, you're not crazy." And pull his bow, but he'll just kind of get it out at this point. I don't know how much action we're taking here.
Nope, that's perfect. I want to go over to Korak really quick and see what his reaction to Dane shouting is.
Well, I mean, I had spear out and at the ready, so I will spin, obviously, something terrible, maybe something that looks like the creature that was there and just disappeared. So I will spin and probably attack.
You spin around and it's gone.
Okay.
Okay, Ishtar probably would have been running after Dane, doing the same thing, kind of like pointing and yelling. So I'm probably a little slower, but I'm close to Dane.
Yes, let's see, Tarask, you're looking out the window. You're all eyes are outside. Everybody make perception checks.
11.
15.
17.
14.
Tarask, you're almost able to track it. Almost. It moves a little too quickly for you to track it, but you see the shifting of this mist go to a different direction, and your eyes catch it. And Ishtar and the rest of you hear another scream, this time from a man. It's like, oh my god! And then Tarask, as you are looking in that direction, you see the front door, and you all see indeed the front door of another one of these houses, maybe 30 to 40 feet away, burst open, and you see that creature again with a man in its mouth, swallowing the man whole. And then as soon as the man is fully consumed, Dane, your staff lights up for but just a second as you see this essence go from him and seems to be transferred up to the storm above you.
Oh, shit. That's all you. That's all that Croc and Ishtar hear as I watch it go up. Go, oh shit!
And blood is dripping from its fangs, and yeah, I think it's about time for initiative.
How far is the creature from us?
Oh, shit, we're fighting it.
I realize that. I'm just
assuming there's no ambush around.
I'm determining tactics at this point.
Let's see. I'm going to assume that you and Korak are on the same zone. You actually, Ishtar and Korak are all in the same zone, and that Tarask, you are up above them, and he is about.
Initiative is just a straight agility, right?
It's intuition.
Intuition.
Yes, intuition.
Intuition, and if you have reactions or
Tactics.
tactics, you get.
Like dodge?
No.
Nope.
No. Okay, gotcha.
So from the house, the woman's body was about 150 feet down the road, and you guys started booking it that way. And then Tarask was able to see where the creature was at. So Tarask, you are about 200 feet away from the creature. The rest of you are about 30 to 40 feet away from it.
They're that far away from me?
Yeah, they booked it down the road. That's where the woman's body was.
Oh, it's that far away. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, now do you think you would have, seeing how far away they were, and now that you have a better understanding of that, do you think you would have gotten out of the house and down towards them closer?
Yeah. I would have ran down the stairs and straight out the door, which should already be open.
Okay, so yeah, you'll be lagging a little bit behind them, but you'll be closer than like 200 feet from the creature. You'll be more akin to maybe 70 feet away at that point. Okay. Whereas, yeah, so you're not too far behind them. You're about 30, 40 feet behind them, behind your comrades. Okay, yeah, actually, that was a great idea. Whoever just posted the initiative in the chat, that's great, because I can just...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's mine. That was 10.
Bling.
Did I do in the right chat? Huh.
There's one off the side, Caleb.
In the right.
On the left side, there should be a little sort of, it's like a speech bubble.
Conversation. I don't have that in Google Hangouts.
That's all right. You can just tell me what you got. I'm going to go down the list here.
12.
You got a 12? Okay. Ishtar.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's see if this works.
12.
That.
There you go.
There. Okay, I got it. So 12, yeah.
Okay.
Now, I know it's probably... is there an ambush round? It just... Because I have an exploit I can take advantage of if there is.
Let me think about that. Ambush round. In this scenario, you would really be incapable of getting the ambush on this thing.
I pep talk.
Well, what's the pep talk?
I give up my ambush round, and I give a plus 1d6 to initiative to other people.
That, I would say, yeah. You're not trying to get the jump on it. You are kind of doing some preemptive, like, yeah, shit, shit's going down.
Yeah, like I would give up my ambush slot to give this. It's like a buff, pretty much.
Yeah, I pretty much see that happening as the thing bursts open the door and you see it swallowing a human as it stares at you, at Korak and all of you.
So it probably just, you said me and
So add a 1d6 to our roll.
Yeah,
Well,
so
just-
yeah, keep your roll and then add a d6, another d6 to it.
To initiative.
Say
Yeah.
Korak does that. Now it says pep talk, but can I tie that into like my loot? Like a loot song almost?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, what's it?
All right,
What's he do?
I start playing a fast-paced, almost aggressive type tune on his loot, like a battle song, but with
Yeah.
a loot.
Oh wow!
I gotta find some loot tracks to play.
I can pull out my ukulele.
There you go. So I stayed initiative 12 though.
Okay, so I got Ishtar 12, Dane 20, Tarask 15, and Korak at 24. Whew. All right.
That was my new exploit.
That's nice.
All right, now I just got to roll for him. And I'll use this. Okay, I got him. So first up is...
Definitely Korak.
First up is indeed Korak.
Okay. So I'm 30 feet away from him.
Yes.
Okay, my first thing would I like yank one of my throwing spears and just launch it.
Okay, make your ranged attack.
Fifteen, 16, 18.
All right. Yes, that is a hit.
Okay. And that is
Thought I had that open.
12. Okay, so with damage on throwing a weapon,
Mhm.
it's just the spear damage plus strength modifier or
Intuition dice pool.
intuition dice roll. Okay.
I'm
So-
almost positive.
So that would be 15 damage.
Okay, hold on. So the first is on okay. Aha. Okay, so it's not intuition. It would be any skill you have in your ranged weapon.
Okay. So that would be
Your spear skill.
okay. So then that's just +1. So
Okay.
that is 13 points of damage.
Fantastic. Yes, the spear, as it finishes swallowing this man, you turn, you see it, and you just huff a spear, and it comes flying at it, and it rips through one of its tentacles, and this black ooze just kind of sprays out from it, and it just stands there staring at you with its tentacles just kind of fluttering.
Okay. And then I will move to 10 feet away so that I can use my long spear with reach to attack it next round.
All right, fantastic. Next up, we have... Where did it go? Down here. Got to get all these things in one workspace. Let's see. Dane.
Okay. Quick question. I as I told you in a private message, I used some XP to bump my evocation from 2 to 3.
Mhm.
What would that allow me to do with my like the spell that I was using last week, the firebolt? It says evocation 2. So what would evocation 3 do for me in terms of that spell?
Nothing. Literally nothing.
So all that's going to do is it's going. Okay, so it just allows me to cast more more spells or create spells that fall within that.
Some magical enhancements have different things. The way evocation works is it's just evoke, and it's for every 2 MP that you spend on it. So, and you can only spend as much MP as you have skill in it. So as soon as you can spend 4 MP on an evocation spell, suddenly that'll bump your damage for that spell up to 2d6 instead of 1d6, but that requires 4 evocation. So all the odd numbers basically are just stepping stone to get to the next one higher.
Okay. So when I go to evocation for this firebolt spell that I'm commonly using, will then be a 2d6 damage instead of a 1d6 damage.
That's right.
For the same number of points. Okay. Yeah, and you said that I'm 30 feet away at this point.
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to use that, and I'm not going to cast Firebolt, but I'm going to cast Ice Bolt.
Okay.
Freeze him in place.
All right, so it's going to be a ranged magic attack. So take your magic dice pool and add your evocation dice pool to that as well.
3d6. And that's a 13.
As it flies towards him, one of the tentacles reaches out, and it just kind of puts it out in front of it, and the bolt hits it, and it looks at first like it starts to freeze over, and then it just completely disappears, and it just keeps fluttering.
Okay. And that takes my 2 actions, so I can't move.
That's right. Yep. And then next up, we've got Tarask.
So Tarask... Oh, shoot, I forget the range. I think I'm way within range for my bow, probably 100 to 200 feet or so.
Yeah.
So I think seeing them launch their attacks, I will kind of like skid to a stop. My bow's already in my hand. I'm going to pull an arrow, and I'm going to shoot. Now, I want to make sure I'm doing this right, too, since we're checking. It's my bows, which is a score of 3, which is a dice pool of 2d6. To hit on its own, or it's that plus agility? Sorry.
Agility or intuition. When you make ranged attacks, you can use either your agility or your intuition dice pool, plus whatever skill you have in the weapon.
Okay, so I have a 4 dice pool in agility and a 2 with the weapon. So 6, I think.
You said a 3 is a 2d6?
Yes.
Okay, I need to add another die to my attack then. So probably wouldn't hit.
Okay,
Well, you had a 13. So, Rory, before you tell me what you got, roll an extra d6 on your attack, since that just happened.
Okay, I did. Yeah, I did and just rolled a 1, so 14.
Okay, all right, so same thing happens, but good to know.
Okay.
That's a 16.
16. Your arrow passes through it.
Okay. Passes through it.
I wish I had more to tell you, but that is all.
Yeah. Crud. Well, he's gonna fire again with his rapid fire, and just because he probably wouldn't even be able to process what happened before getting off another shot. So that is 4, 8, 12, 2 plus 1, 19.
A 19 to hit?
Yes.
That one does catch it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yep.
All right, and then that deals high quality, so that's an extra d6. So it's 2d6 plus 1, 3d6, and that's going to be 11 plus 2 is 13.
Okay, that one catches another one of the tentacles, and you see some black ooze, blood, whatever you want to call it, comes spraying out from one of its tentacle arms.
Okay.
And then you had that was a quick shot or a rapid shot?
That's my rapid fire. So once per turn, I can fire 2 shots instead of 1.
Okay, was that the cumulative damage that you gave me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, so these 2 arrows go in and hit, almost splitting each other right down the
Wait, no, I'm sorry. I think I fired once, and then I used the rapid shot to fire again, and then I gave the damage of 13.
Right. So you shot twice. So with one attack roll because of your rapid shot.
Right.
And you've
Yeah.
only rolled damage one time, right?
Right, because I missed once.
But your rapid shot you shot 2 times now, right? That lets you shoot 2 arrows with 1 action. So technically you've got 3 arrows going at this thing this turn.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. That's me not even understanding that's what that meant. All right, sorry about that. So then it's another 15 damage.
Nice. Yeah. So these arrows they pierce into one of its tentacles, and it again is sitting there just eerily floating, and you manage to land it on 2 right on the sand, and it just starts to spray out. And next up is Ishtar. Actually, I lied.
Yeah,
Soul
I got
Harvester was supposed to go after Dane, so he's going to go now. And he will, after just kind of sitting there and taking a few hits, vanish and reappear behind Dane. And Dane, you feel the tentacles of this thing wrap around you and squeeze. It's making an unarmed attack to grapple you. And it is going to try to pull you into its mouth. It rolls
Lovely.
a 13 to hit on a melee attack.
He misses.
All right, you are able to wriggle free out of the tentacles. I am surprised. I rolled 4 1s. A 3, a 4, and a 2. That's a 76 roll. He rolled a 13. You're lucky as shit. So that is his 2 actions this turn. Teleporting and then assaulting Dane from behind, which is a lovely pastime. So then it goes to Ishtar.
Hey, how far away am I from everything, pretty much? Am I...
About 30 feet.
Alright, so I'm within
Actually...
range.
No, because it has now teleported behind Dane, so it's virtually right next to you.
Alright.
You have flank.
I have a bow out. Actually, no, I have my loot out right now. Yeah, would I get a flanking?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just need to be at a 90 degree, and it needs to be engaged with another.
Alright, so I'll put my loot away, pull out the bow, which is probably 1 action.
Nope, that's a free action.
That's free, okay, and then I'll aim and shoot.
Okay, so are you using the aim exploit?
Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna add 1d6 for that, and then also add another 1d6 for
For the flank.
For the flank. Yep.
17.
Ooh.
Just misses probably.
Despite your best efforts, yes, it passes through it almost. It goes past the tentacles and it rips through it. And it's almost like it's got nothing on the inside. It's like where its mouth is at and where its mandibles, if you will, are attached to its tentacles, and then the robe it's wearing, it just passes through that.
Oh, okay.
And then we're back up at the top with Korak.
Okay, so it should be about 20 to 25 feet away from me because it went from in front of me. I had moved 10 feet away.
That's right.
Okay, so I will move to a point where I can, so it's 90 degrees off of anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go to the other side of it from Ishtar, so that's my move action. Still 10 feet away.
Okay.
And I will attack it with my long spear.
Actually, it just requires 2 diametrically opposed attackers.
Okay.
So it still wouldn't have mattered for last turn anyway, but I was thinking of the crossfire. exists if two attackers are positioned at greater than 90-degree angles to each other with respect to the target.
So can I move into flanking or
yeah,
no?
Yeah, that'll still apply.
Okay.
It just wouldn't have applied for Ishtar, but again, that didn't matter anyway.
Okay. So I will attack 1d6 for the flank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that is 10, 18, 21, 22, 24. 2 hit.
Let me find, where was it? I had the thing up and I lost it. Where did it go? What'd you say, 24?
Yes.
Okay, it bats away your spear. You give it a little slice, just a little baby slice, but it just kind of bats away your spear with one of its tentacles.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, that's my action.
Okay, next up is Dane.
All right. As much as I would like to use my magic attack, I'm not feeling so good with that. So I'm going to actually try to I'll attack him with the flank. That'll be a 5d6 to attack.
Okay.
Okay. First attack was a 17. And the same for the second attack.
Okay, yeah, you can't seem to find an opening to get past these whirling tentacles, and as it's its turn now, and it is going to vanish again, and then this time reappear right in front of Tarask, maybe about 5 to 10 feet away. And its tentacles, all 8 of its tentacles come out towards you, and it comes to grab you.
Okay.
And this time, gotta be fucking kidding me, it gets a 15.
That hits.
That's me.
Yeah, that's Tarask.
Sorry.
But
when you said it to me, I thought you were saying he's throwing his tentacles out at me. So my bad.
yeah, my defense is 18.
Okay, so yes, these tentacles come towards you, and you are able to just kind of beat them back without much of an issue. However, as soon as they touch you, as soon as they you make contact with them, you see them repulse backwards, and they almost and you hear this kind of shrill come from it as soon as you touch it. And lightning and thunder cracks up above you. And it's standing there momentarily stunned. And it is Tarask's turn. Its tentacles are whirring and waving in front of you. A few of them are seized still.
Tackle it.
I think that would be a wise choice. Tarask, I think, is going to try to drop his bow, grab his short sword, and swing at the locked up tentacles, trying to cleave them off.
They're not moving, so you don't need to make attack rolls for them. Just roll the damage. It really wouldn't be you're going over and hitting something, so not going to make you roll an attack for hitting a motionless object.
So I got a right, it's just the damage for the weapon. So that's 5 and an 8. So my 2 actions.
So that'd be a 13, right?
13 total, yep.
Okay, and that was your first attack, right?
No, that was 2 short sword attacks.
Okay, 8 and a 5. All right, yes. Your first one, you and you're attacking both. Well, there's several of them that are.
I think
up.
I'm trying to take I'm more interested in taking one off than hitting all of them. So I'd hit one until it fell off. That would be my goal.
Yeah, your first strike, one of them severs off, and you see the rest of it turn to dust. And then you bring your short sword back around and you slice down on another one, and it goes. It's a little bit tougher, but you do manage to sever that one off, and it too turns to dust before you. With that, it is Ishtar's turn.
Okay, Ishtar still has his bow out, so now it's like head. Is that like stunned?
It's just kind of standing there. It's expressionless, and its mouth is just standing agape, and it just seems to be seized and frozen still with a few of its tentacles. Some of them are still kind of worrying about, but
Can I try a headshot on the guy?
1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Rory, what did you roll for damage for your short sword?
I have 2d6.
Plus you add either your
skill with short sword or the strength modifier. Yep.
Yes.
Or the strength modifier. So
what's your strength?
5. A 2d6 pull.
So 2d6. So it'd be 2d6 plus 2, or it'd be what's your swords?
Swords is, I think, less than that.
Okay, so 2d6 plus 2, is that what you rolled, or what you gave him?
No, I didn't.
So
it would be plus an extra 4 damage. Yeah, 10 and 7. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Did add that for bow. I don't know why I didn't have that written down. I thought that might have been a difference.
Then the second tentacle that you hit just comes off a little more easily than I had initially explained.
Yeah. Perfect. I'm going to change that.
Ishtar.
Now, can I make a headshot at the thing?
Yeah, you can aim for its head.
All right. I'm gonna use a luck die and 2 actions, so I'll use the aim exploit again.
Okay.
I probably don't get flanking anymore, though, do I? No, it
Nope.
teleported, so.
You're looking for an 18 or higher.
19.
Very
The
nice.
luck die.
Go ahead and roll that damage. And is Ishtar young? I don't remember.
Damage. Yes, I am.
So you could use your young exploit to make this damage explode if you'd like.
Actually, I rolled a 6 on that, so
So yes.
I think I will. Yeah, so that's 8 plus. Oh wow, 7.
Yes, please.
Holy cow! So 15 damage on a bow shot.
Fantastic. You line your shot up just right.
Piercing damage.
You let it go, and it hits this thing right in the skull, like what you would assume to be its skull, and you see its whole head kind of move a little bit, and then it just kind of turns at you, and its eyes shine even brighter red than they had before, and then it's up to Korak. But yeah, you sunk that arrow in pretty deep.
Okay, so now how far away is it?
That's once a day. The young exploit. Okay.
I would say it would require one move action to get to it.
Okay, so
I can't remember where Tarask exactly was. He was a little bit further back, so I'd say you're about 30 feet away. It's one move action.
Okay, it seems to be easier to hit with ranged weapons, so I'm gonna pull out my second throwing spear and launch it at it.
Okay.
So that's
Quick question: do you track arrows? Like how many or?
As long like if you're just firing like 2 or 3 or 4 throughout the course of a combat, no. If you're unloading a whole crap ton of arrows, I'm probably gonna use something like a countdown dice pool.
Okay.
And then just have that be equal to like, I don't know, your skill with bows maybe. And then every time you get a 6, remove a die, and then once all your dice are gone, your arrows are gone.
Okay. All right.
Wait, so 18? I got 18 exactly.
Yep. Then you launch that spear forward, and it connects in the back right side of its neck.
And that is, I'm going to use young. Sorry, I guess I should have said that before I rolled. But I did roll 1-6 as I was saying that. So, can I do that or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that's 11 right there. Oh, 12 plus 1, 13 total damage.
Okay, so I kind of see Korak doing like this. Like he pulls out his spear and he gets it in his hand, and then he kind of does like, he twirls it up above his head and then spins around like a person doing shot put, and then comes around with it and whips it at it, and it just bashes into it, and it actually sticks through it. So the end of the spear is poking out of the other side of its neck.
Okay. And then he will run towards it as his move action.
Okay, yeah, and you're able to make it the full distance next to it. And as you are running, Dane's turn is up, and you're still right next to this thing, trying to get a hit in.
Okay, so that was going to be my question: is where am I in relation to this thing? So I still get flank.
Did it teleport from? Oh yeah, no, yeah. Because I screwed up initiative. So yeah, you're there with it.
So, excuse me. All right, so we'll throw this attack at it again. 5d6, 2 attacks at it.
All right.
And yeah, I'm going to burn a luck die. 17. Oh, nice. 22 on the first attack.
That one, unfortunately, is incapable of connecting. Those tentacles just keep slapping you in the face. Yes.
I missed with a 25.
Wow.
Russell.
Okay. Then
I really want it to hit. I'm sorry. I want it to be cool for you, but it just you're like you've got like a tentacle in your face. You're like just trying to punch it, and it's just not working.
Second attack, I'm going to use another luck die. I'm going to target where one of the arrows went through one of the tentacles. Same thing I did against the basilisk previously.
Okay.
Oh wow. We'll see. I could do this. Okay. Didn't get 3 6s. Exploding. You got 28 with an explosion. 29.
Okay, 28 was what you needed, so you got it. So
awesome.
Roll your fist damage and then add another d6 for the fact that you're targeting that arrow there.
That damn it. All right, 5d6 plus 3.
Good old luck die.
20. What's that?
The good old luck die.
Yeah, in this case it was 22 points of damage.
All right, yeah, you finally you're like God damn it, and you throw off the tentacle from your face, and you just smash, your fist lights up and you smash it into the arrow there, and the whole arm just explodes out, and you're covered in this black goo. I need you to make a Constitution test for me. What was that?
Endurance.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, you got lucky. You're just looking to beat a 10. Wait, is that a 10? No, it's an 11.
Still, I beat it.
Okay, good. All right, yes, as this blood from this thing splashes onto you, you notice it is quite caustic, but you're able to get it off in time before it does any damage to you. At this point,
I wouldn't have been able to have added my dodging to that, could I?
No, because you're
If
right
that-
there. you're like,
Okay.
"Ah!" and you just kind of like rip one of its arms off, basically. And yeah, blood.
Okay.
You couldn't have dodged that.
Okay.
Great. So next is the Soul Harvester, and it will. What will it do? It's after it got shot in the head with an arrow, and it looked at the source of it. It looked back towards Tarask, and a spear came, piercing it right through its neck. It kind of lost a little bit of its footing, and it does appear to have some type of. It's got feet, so you'd assume it has legs, but there's just nothing there. It loses some of its footing, but its eyes are still trained on Tarask. Dane throws a tentacle to the side and just smashes another one off. Its eyes still trained on Tarask. It vanishes again from where you guys are at. This time, reappearing on the top of a house, about 20 feet in the air, and to the side of Tarask, and sends out another few tentacles to. It's got 5 left, so it sends those 5 out towards Tarask, and this time he gets a 26 to hit.
That hits. Yes, definitely.
Thank the Lord. Good heavens.
He can hit.
Okay, these grab a hold of you and they begin to pull you towards him. The initial impact of the tentacles does 12 points of bludgeoning damage. And you are getting pulled in towards its mouth. It seems to be fighting something. It's like one of its tentacles, as soon as it touches you, it seizes back up again, and it just kind of slowly turns to dust from one of a previous wound. Everything, and it's pulling you in. I want you to make. We're going to do a very quick advanced test, or extended task. Very quick. You're struggling to get out of this, and we're going to have opposed strength tests. You need 3 successes. I need 3 successes. Whoever gets them first wins.
Oh, okay, right. So we just roll one at a time at this point.
Yep. So I'll roll my first one.
6.
Well, no. Roll your whole pool, your whole dice pool.
Oh, sorry. Gotcha. So it's 2 6s. Holy cow.
Wait, you have a strength dice pool of 2?
2, yeah.
Okay, this was going to be easier than I thought. Okay, yes, you fail that one.
Oh.
So I've got 1 win.
Gotcha.
So it's pulling you closer and closer.
Okay.
Let's get another one.
Can I spend a luck dice?
Of course.
Okay, well, I'll spend one here for sure. That's a 9.
Okay. That one, again, that's a victory for me.
Okay.
This is all going down. Next up is... we're not going to do your last one yet. Because
Gotcha.
As you're getting pulled in, you're like, ugh! You get drugged back. You're like, ugh! And you get drugged back, and then it's going to be your turn. Oh, actually, no, that was your turn. Ishtar, you're up.
All right, now my range on my bow is 12, so he's at a range now, pretty much, right?
Oh, no. The range is 12 times 5, so that's 60 feet.
60. Oh, so he's in range. All right. Now is this going to be considered shooting into melee?
No, because he hasn't quite pulled Tarask to him yet.
All right, so I think I'm gonna take a shot using a luck die. You know what? And I'll use the aim exploit again. So that buffs me up.
As Ishtar lines up his shot, Tarask, your mind fills with a voice. And it says, almost at a whisper, it says, "Who are you?" And Ishtar's arrow goes off.
Leroy!
19. I got 19.
19, that's a hit.
Look there, coming in handy. For 6 points.
Okay. It hits it right about where the spear is at, and you notice the arrow shatters, but the point of it still sticks into its neck.
Okay.
Dealing a little bit of damage, yes. And when that happens, it loses a little bit. It's going to lose a die from its strength check pool. And then next we've got Korak.
Okay, so when it appears and disappears, my spears that are stuck in it, go with it.
Yes, they reassimilate with this thing.
Okay. Okay. So now it's on the roof of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Korak's like, shit, my spears.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to throw.
Oh, Tarask, no.
But Tarask is on the ground.
Tarask is being drugged right now.
Tarask
he
is
had
in,
this.
He's in midair.
Yeah.
Can I attack the tentacles that are holding him?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay,
Jump
I
up
will.
and slice.
How about assisted strength?
As Korak comes charging in to target the tentacles, that same voice appears in your head, Tarask, and it says, "I know you. You knew me once too." And it almost feels like your consciousness is being taken over as these tentacles are wrapping around you.
Okay, so I run forward and jump up and attack the tentacles. I'm spending a luck die. And 18, 20, no, 25.
Well, to hit them like this, in my mind, is vastly different than hitting the creature itself.
Okay.
The creature itself is shifty, it's partially ethereal kind of thing, so its defense value for hitting just its tentacle, when it's outstretched like that. If it was a tentacle right up next to it, that's different. But outstretched like that, I'd say that's a hit.
Okay.
That's going to bring it down at least another level, down to 20, I think it's 23 or 21.
And that is 18 points of damage.
Yes, you sever that one, and it turns to dust up there, and you hear the creature, whatever it is, kind of howl out this sound, and the ground shakes beneath your feet the same way it did when you first entered the town.
Okay. So
then we go to Dane.
You're muted, Dane.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I can't get up to him, but I can hit the tentacles.
Yes, at the moment there are 4 tentacles holding on to Tarask.
Okay. Are any of those damaged?
Those, no.
Okay. So I'm doing.
They do look to be affected, though. They don't. They seem to be withering almost.
Okay.
Yeah, and each one you eliminate will eliminate a d6 from its strength dice pool. So each arm gives it a die.
Okay. Yes. I'm assuming that I'm in position still for flanks, so I'd still get that plus 1d6 on the attack.
Now, are you attacking it, or are you attacking one of the tentacles outstretched?
I can't reach it.
Okay, so yeah, you're just
unless I want to try to
and karate chopping a tentacle then.
Yeah.
Do it.
So it's just going to be my 4d6 attack?
Yeah, there's no flanking. You're just punching it.
Okay.
It's a much easier
only got
difficulty,
one.
though.
Okay. I'm going to do... It seems like the... may have... Because it's... I'm going to grab... If I hit.
Okay.
So...
I think I froze partially through that, I think, so I didn't quite hear what you said.
Okay. Essentially, I'm going to grab it and ice bolt it to try to freeze one off. So
Yeah.
6 to attack. Well, it'll do.
Yeah, do strength or agility, whatever you're going to use for your melee attack. But then instead of adding your unarmed attack, use your evocation dice pool for fun.
Okay, so it'll be 4d6.
Okay.
So same attack. Yeah, it's probably not going 16.
Yeah, I'd say that hits. I mean, it's not that hard to grab a hold of a object standing still.
Okay. So just 2d6, just the element damage, ice damage.
Mm-hmm. Well,
9 points. 9 points.
Yeah, essentially these things are very brittle at the moment. So that one shatters.
Okay.
You grab a hold of it, and your fist lights up with a blue glow, and you just essentially shatter it underneath. You crush it, and it shatters.
Yep.
And it loses that, so it's down to 3 arms. And now we're back to the Soul Harvester and Tarask. Tarask, while that was happening, the voice reappeared in your mind again, and it said, if we join together, there will not be any more death. We can complete each other. And you're looking to beat a 7.
Okay, I'm spending another luck die. And I have a 10.
Okay,
And-
yes, you managed
And he
to...
says, well, he tries to communicate back in his head, back to the first thing that he had said. He says, if I know you, it must be from hunting you. That's the only way I could know your kind. And it gives a big pull.
Okay. This next one, you're looking to beat a 12.
Okay, I'm using my last luck die here. And that is a 6, 4, 3, 13.
Oh, I was gonna say, if this thing got you in its mouth, it's almost insta death. So, you manage to finally pull free from its 3 arms, and when you do, you pull its arms with it, or with you, and as that happens, the voice will will come into your mind again, and it'll say, "Oh, Terry, you never hunted me. You would never hunt your mother." And then the creature just kind of turns to ash and dust, turns into a little like whirling dervish, little tornado thing, gets sucked up into the sky. Dane, your staff lights up very brightly for just a moment, gets sucked up into this vortex, and the storm just kind of disappears from over top of the town.
Hold on, my staff went up into the vortex?
No, it
Okay, that's the way that sounded.
yeah, no, as the thing died, it seemed as though it took with it whatever souls or spirits it had consumed, and it went back up into the vortex, and the storm went away. And that's where we end.
Alrighty.
Okay.
My mom.
Your mom.